After getting to listen to Ennio Morricone's beautiful score, the film opens up with a helicopter chasing a sled dog across the icy landscape of Antarctica. Piloted by some Norwegians, one of the men hanging off the side is trying to shoot and kill the dog for reasons yet unknown to the audience. The Norwegian fires multiple shots at the dog using his HK-93A2 with an attached Hensoldt scope. Produced by Heckler & Koch, this semi-automatic rifle is based on the German military HK-33 assault rifle. Chambered for 5.56 by 45mm NATO, this weapon was designed primarily for civilian use. It has a fixed stock, varying magazine capacity, and uses the roller delayed blowback operating system, a common characteristic of many HK firearms, which helps to reduce recoil. It was extremely popular with the US civilian market before the import restrictions of the 1989 assault weapons ban. Today, it's considered a collector's item. The Norwegian fails to actually hit the dog before it can reach the Americans' research facility. While still up in the air chasing the dog, the Norwegian drops what appears to be an AM M14 incendiary grenade from the helicopter, a device designed to destroy equipment or start fires. Its contents are made up of thermite, a mixture of metal powders, and oxidizers which burn at extremely high temperatures. Once activated, this grenade can burn through metal, disabling vehicles, weapons, or other equipment. The Norwegians circle the Americans' camp a few times till finally landing the helicopter after the sled dog makes its way into the Americans' arms. Once landed, both Norwegians jump out of the helicopter, and the pilot pulls the pin on another incendiary grenade, but it slips from his hand when he goes to throw it, killing him and destroying the helicopter in the process. The other Norwegian, still armed with the HK-93, yells something to the Americans, but they can't understand what he's trying to say as no one in their group speaks Norwegian. He then begins firing once again at the sled dog, hitting the character Bennings in the process. Gary, the station's commander, who's inside the base, breaks the window and shoots and kills the Norwegian with his Colt Trooper MK3. A single action, double action, versatile service revolver known for its durability and reliability. Typically chambering .357 or .38 special, the gun also features a solid steel frame and adjustable sights. The version Gary uses appears to have a 4-inch barrel, but lengths can range from 4 to 8 inches. Not knowing what the hell just happened or what to make of the situation, the station's crew adopts the dog. Wanting to know what happened at the Norwegian base, R.J. McGreedy and Dr. Copper risk a flight to their camp only to find it destroyed and most of the personnel missing. They do find a frozen corpse in the radio room with his wrist and throat slashed with a straight razor, a traditional shaving tool characterized by a long flat blade that folds into its handle. In these scenes we can also see RJ carrying an Ithaca 37, a pump-action shotgun known for its unique bottom-ejecting shell design which allows for ambidextrous operation. Introduced in 1937, it's still manufactured to this day. With a 5-round capacity, it typically chambers 12 gauge, but others such as 16, 20, or 28 are also available. After finding evidence that the Norwegians dug something out of the ice and the burned remains of a humanoid corpse with 2 faces, the pair return back to the American base, bringing the corpse back with them. Once back, Dr. Blair performs an autopsy of the remains, which is inconclusive due to the creature having what appears to be a normal set of internal human organs.
Well, what we got here is what appears to be, anyway, a normal set of internal organs.
We finally get to see what the Norwegian was yelling about in the beginning after Clark puts the sled dog in the kennel with the rest of the dogs, for that one soon after transforms into a huge, hideous creature which begins to attack the other dogs. The loud barking causes Clark to return and finds almost the entire sled team in the process of being assimilated by the alien. McGreedy, who overhears the commotion, alerts everyone to the kennel by pulling the fire alarm. Mac, armed with his Ithaca, and Gary with his MK3, shoot at the alien, which appears to be ineffective. The alien is finally subdued when Childs incinerates it with the M2A17 flamethrower, which is a portable weapon designed to project a stream of ignited fuel for use in combat, particularly for clearing bunkers or trenches. They typically hold around 4 gallons of fuel and have an effective firing range of 20 to 40 meters with an approximate weight of 70 pounds when fully loaded. After performing another autopsy, Blair reveals that the stray dog was an alien capable of absorbing and perfectly imitating other life forms. And because of this, Blair quickly begins to become withdrawn and suspicious of other crew members. A second helicopter expedition reveals an alien spacecraft unearthed by the Norwegian team, which shows that the creature had been awakened after being buried in the ice for thousands of years.
Jesus, how long you figure this has been in the ice?
I'd say the ice it's buried in is 100,000 years old, at least.
Back at the base, Bennings and Windows quarantine the remains of the creature and the Norwegian in the storage room. After Windows leaves the room, tentacle-like sinew begins to emerge from the remains, and the thing begins to assimilate Bennings, who is alone in the room with it. Meanwhile, Fuchs confers with McGreedy and the Snowcat that Blair is becoming unstable, and his research indicates that the burned creatures are still alive. Windows returns to the storage room to find the creature assimilating Bennings and quickly alerts McGreedy, who along with the rest of the team corner the alien mid-transformation outside and burn it with fuel. Meanwhile, Blair, who has calculated that the creature will assimilate the entire planet within 3 years upon reaching civilization, suffers a mental breakdown, and to prevent the alien from escaping, he disables the helicopter and tractors, kills the remaining dogs, and then with a fireman's axe, destroys the radio room.
Well, that's fine. Most of you don't know what's going on around here. Hold on, damn well.
When Childs tries to come in through the back, Blair shoots at him with his third-generation Colt Detective Special. It's a compact double-action revolver, which typically chambers 6 rounds of .38 Special, or in Blair's case, I guess 8 rounds, and is designed for concealed carry, particularly for detectives, hence the name. Blair unloads all 6 shots at his teammates before they can overpower him and lock him in the tool shed. Isolated and even more suspicious of one another, the crew realizes that one of them might be infected and try to figure out how to determine who's human. After Windows finds that the medical blood supply has been destroyed, which eliminates the chance of a blood test to find an infected individual, the team dissolves into even more paranoia of one another.
I'll put this right through your head.
You guys gonna listen to Gary? You gonna let him give the orders? I mean, he could be one of those things.
McGreedy puts Gary, Copper, and Clark into isolation and orders Fuchs to continue Blair's research. All the while, an Arctic blizzard is steadily growing outside. Later on, Fuchs goes missing after a power failure, and his body is later found to be severely burned, with some of the crew speculating he either did it to stop the thing from assimilating him, or maybe the thing burned him. After finding a torn shirt with his name on it, McGreedy comes under suspicion, and the others lock him out in the blizzard. McGreedy later breaks into the storage room and threatens the rest of the crew with a bundle of dynamite, which is a chemical explosive that's made of nitroglycerin, sorbents, and stabilizers invented by Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel in 1867 that is most notable for its use in mining and demolition. Norris appears to start having a heart attack after he and Copper unsuccessfully try to attack McGreedy from behind. While Copper tries to revive him with the defibrillator, Norris' body transforms into the thing and kills Copper, biting off his forearms in the process. Once McGreedy torches the Norris thing, its head severs from his body, trying to escape, which makes RJ theorize that every piece of the alien is an individual animal with its own survival instinct.
Watching Norris in there gave me the idea that maybe every part of him was a whole. Every little piece was an individual animal with a built-in desire to protect its own life.
McGreedy proposes they test blood samples of each of the crewmates. Clark, in an act of mutiny, attempts to stab McGreedy with a scalpel, but Max shoots and kills him. The rest of the crew then agree to the test. Windows, McGreedy, Copper, and Clark all prove to be human, but when Palmer is tested, the blood flees from the hot wire, revealing him to be an imitation. Palmer then transforms and begins mauling Windows. McGreedy torches it once finally getting his jam flamethrower working. Then finishes it off with a stick of dynamite and burns the infected Windows. After confirming McCready, Childs, Gary, and Knowles are all still human, the survivors set out to the tool shed in order to administer the test to Blair, while Childs keeps watch, only to find that he has escaped by tunneling underground. After following the path, they discovered that not only has Blair been assimilated, but he has been constructing a small flying vehicle of alien design to reach and infect the mainland. When they return to the surface, they witness Childs inexplicably abandon his post. Shortly after, the power goes out around the camp. Realizing the creature now wants to freeze so a future rescue team can find it,
Wants to freeze now. It's got no way out of here. Just wants to go to sleep in the cold until the rescue team finds it.
the remaining crew acknowledge they won't survive and set about destroying the research facility in hopes of killing the creature. While setting up more dynamite in the underground generator room, Gary is killed by an infected Blair. Knowles follows the sound of the creature and is never seen again. Now all alone, MacReady prepares to detonate the charges when the thing, larger than ever, emerges below the floor and destroys the detonator. MacReady attacks it with a stick of dynamite, setting off the rest of the charges, destroying the facility in the process.
Yeah, fuck you too!
As MacReady wanders the burning ruins with his bottle of liquor, Childs returns out of nowhere, claiming he saw Blair run into the storm and he went after him and got lost.
Where were you, Charles?
Thought I saw Blair. I went out after him. Got lost in the storm.
With no way for them to determine who was really human, they acknowledge their distrust for one another and share a drink as they await their fates. Well, in total, there were 7 weapons used in this film, that being 2 handguns, 1 rifle, 1 shotgun, and 3 explosive/incendiary devices. I'm going to say the most iconic weapon in this film is definitely the flamethrowers, for they're the most seen, most used, and definitely the most crucial to the characters in the film. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment of your favorite weapon used in the film, check out other videos if you enjoyed this one, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.